website will be a regular set of report cards, which as president and founder of the Institute I'll be giving out. Let's start with a quick review of 2009. The really big news when you aggregate it all up was how did the international community, with these new surge of Asian powers and all, how did we do working together to try to meet some of the major problems and challenges of 2009? And the report card there is a pretty good job. Maybe it's a B+. And the reason for that, let me tell you, the G20. G20 was not very much a year ago. Today it surpassed the G8 as the major body in which the key economic powers with 80% of the global economy are now helping to work together. And they did a good job in coming together to coordinate the problems of the economic recession that looked like a year ago it was going to lead to a global depression. But let's look beyond that. Let's look at other things. Russia. Let's look at Russia, our relations with the United States, a very strained relationship. 1 year ago, we were all talking about going back to a Cold War. Now you have a number of things, including what will be a START agreement, a new nuclear arms START agreement, but also Russia permission to let America supply military for Afghanistan, military supplies over its territory. Let's look at China and the start of the resumption of military-to-military talks with the United States, or back to Russia. We can go back. There's so many things we can point out here. Back to Russia, cybersecurity talks. A year ago, nobody in Washington would have given you 2 cents for the fact that the United States and the Russian Federation would civilly sit down at a table together and talk about cybersecurity, which now is equated in the security doctrines of both countries as being equal to nuclear. And yet they did. They sat down, track 1. Granted, they didn't get very far, but the fact is nobody ever thought they'd even sit down to talk. Meanwhile, track 2 things at this institute and others are moving ahead. But wherever we look, I think we can see that there's a new sense of understanding that the old world order, the old way in which things were done, are no longer going to work. And that the only way we're going to be able to get through the challenges, the significant challenges of the next decade, are going to be if the East, the countries of Asia, those are the non-traditional countries that have not been in power for the last 100 years, are able to find a modus vivendi with the West in economics, in security, in politics, across the board, in how our societies get together. And this is the exciting thing about 2010, is that we've got a solid foundation from 2009 to build on. And so next week we'll talk about some of the specific issues, and we'll look at report cards on how we're doing.